The mayor of Minneapolis says 4 responding officers in connection with the death of George Floyd have been fired. The mayor added, quote, "This is the right call." George Floyd died in police custody after an officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for at least 7 minutes.
Time and again, we've seen black men die at the hands of law enforcement, or more recently, not law enforcement, for no reason. There will be an investigation conducted into the civil rights violations by the FBI, and I think that was absolutely the right call.
3 words, quote, "I can't breathe." It is sadly familiar to many because it became something of a national protest anthem after Eric Garner, an unarmed black man in New York, had said those words, also caught on tape, repeatedly when a New York police officer was holding him in what was deemed an illegal chokehold before his death.
A few minutes into the video, Floyd stops moving, but the officer kept his knee in place for several more minutes. The police department says the officers were responding to a report of a forgery. The department says the man was, quote, ordered to step out of his car. After he got out, he physically resisted officers. Officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noted that he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was taken to a hospital where he died a short time later. At no time were weapons of any type used by anyone involved.
Police acknowledged Floyd was unarmed. The FBI and state officials are now already investigating this incident. That's a day into it. If you watch our program, you may know that is much faster than many other such incidents, where sometimes it takes more public pressure.
The fact that we refuse to deal with the role that race plays in the enforcement of law, we'll continue to see these instances take place. And justice is so far away for these families. There have been historical cases similar to this one that kind of give us a blueprint and a guide as the eventual outcome, perhaps, of this particular case. But it's very painful, it's very troubling, very difficult to watch. And there is more than just individuals. There is a community of individuals and civilians who are suffering behind it.
Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, released a statement in the last hour that reads, quote, "George Floyd mattered. Somebody loved him. His life was important. It had value. Whenever someone dies at the hand of law enforcement or state power, we owe it to everyone affected to investigate thoroughly. I'm confident that the values of accountability, transparency, and justice will be upheld. I will be a force for them."
You got to make sure that people trust the system because the system's trustworthy. And I think that the discharge of these officers is not nearly enough. But, and there will be an investigation. And I'm certain that this case will be evaluated as to whether criminal charges are appropriate. But, you know, the system simply has to say that everybody counts, everybody matters, that nobody, particularly African-American people, communities of color, is beneath the protection of the law, and that no law enforcement personnel is above the law. We just got to come to that conclusion. And look, this case is in part shocking because it's so routine. It's not new at all. This is a recurrent, historic, and widespread problem, and we have got to confront it.